Our hero wakes to find himself surrounded by monsters of every shape and size, and understandably, he has no idea what is going on. He tries to make sense of it, wondering why he is here and what could possibly have happened. No answer comes to him, however, only a growing unease and a good deal of sweat. Then a girl, lounging calmly in a chair, explains to him that he has been brought here from another world. He simply stares, struggling to process a statement that makes no sense to him at all. He asks where exactly he is, and she replies that this is precisely her question too. Checking her records, she finds nothing on him. No arrangement, no schedule, no reason he should be here. Another world, he repeats quietly, more lost than before. She then explains, rather bluntly, that he is antisocial and awkward, a shut-in with no friends, and frankly a bit of a loser. He puts on a tough front, insisting that his life is going perfectly well. In the end, however, he admits that things are not going well for him at all. He asks to be sent home, but she tells him plainly that she cannot allow it. So he decides that, since he is here, he will at least visit this other world once. Almost immediately, though, the reality sinks in and he is terrified. He pleads with her to send him back, but she explains there is genuinely nothing she can do. Instead, she offers him a parting gift, a blessing free of charge. Setsukiya grants him a nearly indestructible body, and tells him he will be very popular in the world he is going to. Wait, really? He asks, brightening at the thought. With no other choice, he accepts the offer, and by now he is genuinely excited. Then it occurs to him to ask how, exactly, he is supposed to get back. Simply defeat the Demon King, she explains, and with that, he is sent falling into a new world from high above the sky. Upon landing, he comes down directly on top of an elf girl. He looks up, lets out a dazed sound, and finds himself staring straight into her eyes. It is then that he recalls the goddess's promise, that he would be popular. Before he can settle, however, she levels a knife at him, and that is the moment he realizes he has made a serious mistake. She demands to know where he has come from. He is bewildered, since this is not at all the reception he had imagined. She accuses him of being one of them. He gets to his feet, trying urgently to clear up the misunderstanding. Then a voice calls out. It belongs, he sees, to a mysterious figure. She declares that she knew it, that he is from the Demon King's army. The Demon King, he echoes, thoroughly confused. The figure is then revealed to be Hamura, one of the strongest soldiers in the Demon King's army. The elf watches, assuming surely that he can handle this. Instead, he comes to understand just how badly outmatched he is against a soldier of the Demon King. Deciding Hamura is far too much to handle, she turns and runs, and so she leaves him alone in an empty field, sprawled on the ground and utterly confused. He scrambles up to follow her, but he runs out of breath after only a short dash. For all his indestructible body, it seems, he still has the stamina of a shut-in. Hamura's expression, meanwhile, turns openly murderous. She stands directly over him now, and he becomes certain that this is the end. A dead end, he thinks, his journey to another world finishing right here. His whole life begins to flash before his eyes. He covers his face with his hands and cries out for her to stop. And then, unexpectedly, she kisses him. He is left flustered and embarrassed, struggling to understand what just happened. He wonders, bewildered, why on earth she would kiss him. She brings her hand down sharply, right beside him, and she is gasping, for reasons he cannot begin to grasp. She folds her hands around his and tells him softly that it is time to dig in. His face is pressed against her chest now, and he is left confused and thoroughly embarrassed. It is then that he finally understands what the goddess meant when she said he would be popular. She meant, of course, that he would be popular with monsters. Hamura, the cat-eared demon girl, creeps quietly up behind Hiro. He notices her at once and is immediately flustered. She is pretty, he thinks, but she is also a demon, and something about her feels dangerous. Perhaps it would be wiser to back away. Before he can, however, she declares that he smells of milk, and begins licking him without the slightest hesitation. He is caught between delight and the growing suspicion that he is about to be devoured. It occurs to him, rather late, that all of this is happening very quickly. Then Hamura's expression shifts and turns serious, and without warning she strikes. For one long moment, Hiro is certain that this is the end of him. Instead, the monsters that had been closing in fall dead around them. Blood rains down from a severed head, and Hiro stands frozen in the middle of it, thoroughly terrified. That was a close call, Hamura remarks, as the blood spills across the ground. He had thought her beautiful before. Looking at her now, he finds her terrifying. She observes that the two of them have gotten rather dirty. Then she seizes him without ceremony and sets off at a run, announcing that they are going to wash. Hiro finds himself standing in the shallows, undressed before he could get a word out. She had stripped him, it seems, in a matter of seconds. With her back to him, she asks whether he intends to wash at all. Pouring water over your head feels wonderful, she tells him. Then, with a blush, she decides that he must want her to wash him. He insists that this is not at all what he meant, blushing furiously. And yet, he thinks, perhaps this is finally his moment to become a man. In his nervousness, he takes hold of her tail by accident. Hamura gasps and her face colors. Hiro has no idea what he has just done. "Kid," she says quietly, lowering her head, going for her tail straight away. He is, she says, exactly the sort of man she took him for. It is meant as a compliment, though he does not understand a word of it. She takes his head in her hands, presses him against her chest, and tells him they should spend the rest of their lives together. It is around this point that he realizes he cannot breathe. He panics, certain over and over that he is about to die. He shoves himself free at last, and she asks quite calmly whether they should get going. Where, he asks. Home, she says, taking hold of him again. He is relieved. At last, he thinks, a return to some kind of civilization. And then it dawns on him what she might actually mean. Home, of course, is the Demon King's army base. She tears off at a run, declaring that she is never letting him go, while Hiro begs her to do exactly that. Led by Hamura, the two of them arrive at last at the Demon King's base, and Hiro can scarcely believe he is standing there at all. His mind fills with what might be waiting inside. Dragons, cyclopes, skeletons, and worse. The place is abandoned at the moment, Hamura tells him, so it should serve well enough for a night. He is rather surprised to hear it. Relieved, he thanks his good fortune. She opens the door onto a room that is completely bare. She tells him he must be exhausted and to make himself at home. He thanks her. For the first time in a long while, he is simply glad to have a roof over his head. There is, he notes, really nothing here at all. He lies down on the bare floor. She warns him he will catch a chill down there, while carrying an enormous bed. There is no need, she says, to go out of his way to sleep on cold stone. He looks up at her, blushing again. If they sleep together, she reasons, it will be warmer. And Hiro wonders when exactly she undressed. That would be fine, he tells himself, except that it means she is going to eat him alive. He hesitates, managing only a feeble but. His breathing grows heavy. Slowly he reaches for her hands, and then a voice carries in from outside. It belongs to the hero's party. They are searching the area for the Demon King's army's base. They decide to make camp here for the night. The hero agrees, provided they first make certain the base is cleared of monsters. Hamura smashes clean through the wall, and the noise carries straight to the hero's party. The hero readies himself, calling out to ask who is there. Hamura lands in front of them. They are caught completely off guard, since she is not exactly dressed for company. The pressure coming off her is immense. She is furious, though none of them can work out why, and Hiro realizes with dread that the hero's party is about to be killed. Hamura drops into a fighting stance, ready to tear into the hero's party. The party wonders whether they ought to simply run. The hero points out that she is empty-handed. They have a real chance. The hero charges, and Hiro finds himself thinking the party might actually win this. The hero squares up to Hamura, sword raised, furious, and ready. The fight begins. His companion blocks Hamura's strike and she gives ground. The elf girl begins casting while the others press the attack. Hamura falls back. She realizes the hero has cut her arm, and that it is bleeding. The elf calls out that they can do this. Without a weapon, they reason, they can hold off Hamura's attacks, and if they keep up the pressure, they can win. They close in on her together, certain of victory. Then a voice comes screaming down the mountainside. It is Hiro, tumbling head over heels straight toward the fight. The party recognizes him as the boy from the trees, and tells him to get back, that it is dangerous. But Hiro asks whether ganging up on someone completely unarmed isn't a little beneath a hero's party. The silence stretches on, and he begins to suspect he has said something wrong. Then the hero says simply that he has a point, and the others agree with him. Hiro cannot understand it. This was their perfect chance to strike. Now that they have gone, he thinks, she is going to take her anger out on him instead. Did he just protect her, she asks. Not really, he says. All the same, she admits, it is not a bad feeling. She hugs him from behind and thanks him. Hiro points out that she could have beaten them easily anyway, and Hamura suggests they pick up right where they left off. Watching from a distance, an elf who looks rather like a witch wonders what on earth the two of them are doing, and whether she might be a spy.